Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another weekly news broadcast, MoCo Resistance. My name is Harold Maldonado. Welcome you to episode 30th. We have taken a break from the last episode due to family activities and functions, as well as ending the soccer season. I'm coaching my daughter's team, and happy to report we came in second in the league in Germantown. So kudos to all the cheetahs out there. All right, as noted, today's episode is number 30th, and we have entitled it Police State. Today is June 20th, year of our Lord 2024. The game plan for today is basically to talk about what's going on in Montgomery County. Basically, the biggest news this week has been the announcement of the new Board of Education Superintendent. We're going to talk about that. Second point, we're going to talk about Trump, the conviction of Trump in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And then we're going to talk about the deep state going after Americans posting in social media. And then finally, we'll talk about the holiday that we just had yesterday, which was Juneteenth. So before we start, we'd like to thank new viewers and listeners to the channel. We give you a big MoCo Resistance welcome. And to those that follow us on a weekly basis, welcome back. So we ask you to please subscribe to our channels in YouTube, Rumble, and Telegram, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We'd like to engage with you. We'd like to talk to you, and we'd like to hear what you want to hear from us in terms of topics, issues that concern the community in Montgomery County. All right, let's start. So Montgomery County has a new Board of Education Superintendent. His name is Dr. Thomas Taylor, named a new superintendent who will start in July. He is MCPS alum. He went to BCC High School, and he's the current superintendent of Stafford County Public Schools. He has over 25 years of experience as a teacher, managed a school system that has 33 schools, and has a doctorate in terms of his education from the University of Virginia. And he has an MBA from the College of William and Mary. So that is Mr. Taylor. We wish him good luck, but he is going to have a tough job. I hope he hits the ground running, but that's going to be very difficult due to the current environment that we currently have in the county in terms of the structure, the incompetence, the corruption, and the many problems that need to be resolved ASAP. Many people in the DMV have voiced their support for Mr. Taylor, have voiced their encouragement of having a person with his background to be the head of our school system. But I am conservative in terms of my opinions, and I'll give you those in a second. But so what is Mr. Taylor coming into? He's coming into a school system that is in crisis. The current state of education in the county is weak and fragile, and it continues to decline. Reading and math scores, as was shown before, are low and continue to decline. The Board of Education and MCPS are corrupt and incompetent. We've known this for many years, but in the last 2 to 3 years, this has come out very open in the public, and the public is aware of this. The education is controlled and run by the criminal Democrat political establishment. That is a fact. One of the examples of this is the teachers union, who produce the Apple ballot every election season and push their candidates, and their candidates are basically puppets and do their bidding. And that's one of the big reasons why the school system that we have is in crisis. Another problem that the new superintendent will face is drug use is rampant in schools, in hallways. Legal marijuana, illegal. It currently have a lot of infestation of illegal and legal drugs in our schools, and that's a detriment to the well-being of our students and future leaders in the community. And of course, there's a lot of violence. It's out of control across MCPS, and we see this every day. We see this every week. We see this on a constant basis. And so one of the reasons why violence is up is because Councilmember Joanno and others have pushed to remove SROs from schools, and this has been a big issue, a big topic of discussion during the primary elections in May, where again residents had a chance to choose to elect outsiders, people who didn't have any relationship with the teachers union, and who actually had solid backgrounds professionally and personally to do the job, but they still picked the Apple ballot candidates, which very sad to say. All right, so let's continue. We have education that is focused on indoctrination versus focusing on core subjects. We have our education being captured by a woke and progressive agenda. And this is true. We have a lot of books, a lot of material that the current school system pushes, which is sexualized education to kindergartens, to elementary school students, to middle school students, and high school students. So the focus here is not to improve math or reading scores, but push this woke progressive agenda, which seeks to destroy the basic baseline education for our kids. All right, so we're going to go to Twitter next. Okay, so we have the Twitter feed. We have a tweet from MCPS from July 17th. The Board of Education has selected MCPS alum Dr. Thomas Taylor as the superintendent, and Dr. Taylor's formal appointment is set for June 25th. And here's the second part of the tweet. I believe the potential of MCPS, and we'll go ahead and watch his introduction.
Hello, my name is Thomas Taylor, and I am so excited to be your next superintendent. As a proud graduate of Bethesda Chevy Chase High School and a native of Montgomery County, I am thrilled to come home to serve you. With family still living in the county, I already know that Montgomery County is a great place to live, work, and learn. And this is thanks to you, the families and incredibly hardworking staff of MCPS that make Montgomery County and our schools amazing. Thank you.
We have a tweet from Chiefs for Change. We are thrilled to share that Chiefs for Change member Thomas Taylor, ED, has been announced as the next superintendent of MCPS. So, in my analysis, I think this guy means well. I think this guy, we don't know much about him other than what they tell us. And from just looking at what has been happening to MCPS and the Board of Education in the last 10 years, I would say that he's a Trojan horse. He is supposedly a very clean, very apt individual, but the forces against him are going to be very hard to overcome in terms of him trying to go against the agenda, the propaganda, and the policies of the current management of the current Board of Education, first of all, and then going against the county council and every office in the county, because the whole county is a captured operation by the woke, progressive, extreme left Democrats who have put an agenda forward that is not conducive to anything positive coming out of our schools. So I think he's a Trojan horse, and I'm going to be very surprised if he makes any positive improvements, any type of improvements, and hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully in a few months, in a year, I'll be able to apologize to him and to you guys for making this analysis. But it is my analysis. I mean, you can't go away from it, because superintendents have come by, and this guy is he gonna butt heads with Board of Education members, with the president? Is he gonna butt heads with MCPS? Is he gonna butt heads with the teachers union? So we'll see. But I'm guessing he's just a puppet, like others before him, and he's gonna try hard, but they're gonna put him in his place, sadly. So we'll see. All right, let's continue. Let's move on to point number 2, which is Trump being convicted. The Biden administration has created a police state. In this conviction, in this trial, has shown to not only to Americans, but also to the world, that the U.S. currently, right now, is being run by a tyrannical administration who has put in place a police state. What is a police state? A police state is where citizens are monitored, and fundamentally their rights are basic rights, personal rights are fringed upon, and they are removed and they are ignored. So that's a police state. Some examples of a police state would be Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, China, where the government has complete power to arrest anybody, any group of people who go against the narrative of the government, who oppose the government, who oppose the government policies, and who are against the leading administration. So that is the police state. So the trial is part of the political persecution started by the deep state going after Trump. We'll go into what the deep state is in another episode, but just to give you a heads up, the deep state is basically the strings that are behind the government, private sector interest, banking interests, and who are colluding to favor one political party or administration. And in this case, the deep state is working against Trump, because Trump is an outsider. He's not part of the corrupt political establishment in D.C., and that's why they have gone after him ever since he decided to run for president in 2016. So this is a Democrat-controlled trial, convicted Trump on 34 counts. This was basically a kangaroo court proceedings. A lot of mischief, a lot of rules and guidelines were broken. And for example, Attorney General Merrick Garland put together the dream legal team to go after Trump. Judges were handpicked. Democrat state attorney was handpicked. And also the jury was handpicked and paid off. There's an article in where it says that they arrested three jurors after the conviction, and one of them, they found out that the person received, who had affiliations to Antifa, they found that her bank account after the trial, after the conviction, there was a deposit of $2 million in her account. So that's where we are. That's part of the police state. The leading administration, the leading political party goes after any political opponent, and in this case, the police state is controlled by the Biden administration, and they're going after Trump. And for example, Garland signed off on the raid to Mar-a-Lago, and this has never happened ever in the United States, and this is something that happens normally in third world countries, where banana republics are run by dictators and pseudo-tyrannical governments that persecute their and jail their political opponents. So this is happening. So Garland appointed a special prosecutor, Smith. He did it illegally without any congressional oversight. So this is what we're seeing in the Trump conviction. This was big news, and to give you a little more flavor of why they did this, it's part of the Democrat strategy to go after Trump, and the courts is backfiring. The police state is protecting Democrats and the Biden family. Instead of this conviction being detrimental to Trump's campaign, it has actually been a positive, because people are seeing the corruption firsthand. They're seeing the corruption of the government agencies, in this case the FBI, the DOJ, and are realizing that the government is corrupt, and the Biden administration is being protected by these agencies. For instance, the Hunter laptop that came out during the election in 2020, and everybody and their grandmother, in terms of their government agencies, said that this was false, this was Russian misinformation, that this was planted by the Russians, and everybody, mainstream media, everybody was on board with that. So, but we know now that this laptop was real, that the FBI had it, they knew it was real, but they hid it from public, and they allowed big tech, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and others to censor any information coming out of the public that talked about this laptop, in order to interfere in the elections. So imagine if people knew what they know now about the Hunter laptop, for example. Do you think people would have leaned in voting for Biden instead of Trump in 2020? I don't think so. So this was done deliberately. And again, the three-letter agencies are protecting the Biden family. They're protecting the information about the millions received from China, Ukraine, and Russia. The Epstein client list has been hidden, and nobody's is being investigated on that list or being arrested. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the level of corruption our government practices, and the level of corruption there is in our government. And so, and again, this is doesn't happen in a bubble. Doesn't happen only in the federal level. It happens at the state level. It happens here at the local county level. And I was asked last week about I put a post on Nextdoor. And yeah, Nextdoor is also one of the platforms that are controlled by Democrats. And if you say anything conservative, if you say anything remotely true about what's going on in politics, they suspend you. So I wonder how much money they get from the DNC or from Soros. Anyway, so you have the Epstein client list being the list, the people in that list not being investigated. You have the January 6th prisoners still in prison, and they are political prisoners. The government, led by Biden and his proxies in the DOJ, FBI, are harassing Americans. They're going after conservatives, Christians, all over the country. The FBI is arresting Americans for being patriotic, for exercising their constitutional rights of free speech. So this is what's going on, and now we'll turn into Twitter. Okay, so now we have a tweet from Carrie Lake. She says, you have to shake your head at the hypocrisy of Obama and Biden lecturing us about supporting a convicted felon. They were spying on President Trump before he even got inaugurated. They helped manufacture a Russia hoax, and we all just watched the kangaroo court deliver that bogus conviction. Trump will be exonerated at the end of the day, and hope that Barack and Joe are held accountable for all the very real wrongs they've committed. So let's watch and listen.
Republican Arizona Senate candidate Carrie Lake joins us now to talk about this. Carrie, they're shameless. They're standing on the stage with a man that's taken in tens of millions from Russia and China and Ukraine and Romania, and they're talking about an opponent who's been convicted of 34 felonies for putting the wrong label on a check. It's unreal.
It is unreal. I mean, the hypocrisy of it all. And then you think about what they did before President Trump ever got inaugurated, how they were spying on his campaign. You think of the Russiagate. I mean, the things they've actually done, it's just unbelievable. Instead, we're having this witch hunt play out. I believe President Trump will be exonerated at the end of the day. And I think more and more bad news will come out on, I think, Obama, actually, as well as Joe Biden. The question is, will we ever see justice?
Yeah, it's so tough to. I mean, we're the good guys. We haven't been convicted of 34 counts. I mean, they're such frauds, and I really do think that a plurality of this country sees it now. It's been a hell of a fight the last 8 years to open people's eyes to this kind of this matrix that we all live in, that's controlled by the media, that has their agenda at heart. It is something else.
All right, let's continue. We have a tweet from Wall Street Apes. It says, Director of the FBI James Comey testimony against Hillary Clinton had classified material, distributed classified emails, deleted subpoenaed emails, committed perjury to FBI, all on the record, no criminal charges. Sick. Yeah, let's continue. We have another tweet from the Wall Street Apes. It says Democrats convicted Donald Trump of 34 felonies. Here's all the evidence Congressman Scott Perry tells reporters the GOP has on Biden crime family, yet they've done nothing. He says, we have bank accounts. You can see that the homes that the Bidens own can be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interest. Those things aren't normal. That's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes not only just with widespread corruption, it's money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. We also have the president on the vice president at the time on record saying that the prosecutor was fired. Well, son of a beep, the prosecutor was fired, right? Because the prosecutor was going after the company that his son was working on. So we'll hear what they have to say.
What actual evidence do you have, as opposed to allegations, to show to the American public that would merit an actual impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden and prove that today isn't just about some of you?
Oh, I don't know.
McCarthy for the sake of enacting political revenge.
This isn't about political revenge. We have the bank accounts. We can see, ma'am, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interests. Those things aren't normal. It's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes to not only just widespread corruption, but money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. That's what we have. If you can't see that, if you are that blunt, look.
All right, let's continue. So we said that this political witch hunt, this political persecution of Donald Trump by the Biden administration is backfiring. So we have a tweet from Laura Loomer. It says, breaking, President Trump's donation page has crashed because so many people are donating after he was just found guilty on all 34 counts on this sham trial. So there you go. All right. And also, how's this backfiring? We have CNN admitting Trump train is moving faster than ever before and shows no signs of stopping. The fact is, most Americans don't really care if Trump is found guilty, the pollster said. So let's see what the pollster is saying on what is the conviction doing to Trump in the campaign.
At this particular point, that Trump train that's been moving faster than it's ever moved before in a general election doesn't show any signs of slowing down, despite the criminal indictments against him, despite the fact that this case in New York is now going to the jury, John.
Continuing, let's see a tweet from Colin Rugg. Breaking: Donald Trump says the real verdict will be decided on election day on November 5th, 2024. Calls out George Soros after being found guilty. It's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. All right. Here's what President Trump had to say.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now, from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
All right, let's continue. We have another tweet from Colin Rugg. The New Daily Mail polls says Trump received a 6-point bump in approval after he was found guilty in New York City. According to the poll, 22% of people said that they now have a more favorable rating of Trump, while 16% said they viewed him as more negative. All right, let's continue.
Are you concerned about election interference this year? A yes or no answer will suffice.
Am I concerned about election interference? Yes.
The FBI would be in charge of investigating such a violation of federal law were it to occur. Is that correct?
So I guess it depends on the facts, the specific factual stuff.
Here we have a situation that's unprecedented. No former president, no major candidate for president has ever been prosecuted criminally in American history. Yet now we have a situation where the incumbent president's major candidate, major opponent, is being prosecuted in 5 separate jurisdictions all by Democrat partisan prosecutors, and all of this culminating right in the middle of an election season. Does that sound to you like coordinated election interference, or is that just a coincidence?
Well, I'm not going to discuss pending state criminal prosecutions. That's not something I would ever do.
Let me get more specific. What we saw happen last week was Alvin Bragg, who ran on a platform of getting Trump, do just that with a flimsy made-up theory and a criminal conviction. Just this weekend, the leader of the Soros organization came out and advised Democrats to repeat the slogan, "Convicted Felon," so it could be imprinted on voters' minds. Alvin Bragg facilitated that imprint and did just that. Is that coordinated election interference, or is that just a coincidence that would happen?
Again, with all due respect, I'm not going to talk about...
Just days after President Trump announces that he's going to enter the election process, Merrick Garland appoints Jack Smith to prosecute Trump, President Biden's opponent. Is this coordinated election interference to go after your opponent in a federal election using the Justice Department to do it? When Letitia James was running for New York Attorney General, she campaigned to get Trump. Does it seem that using the criminal justice system for a political vendetta is election interference, or is that just a coincidence too?
Again, I'm just not going to weigh in on pending state criminal cases.
Who's going to investigate it? Who's going to look into this?
Well, again, I'm not going to talk about who we are or are not investigating because that's not something that's appropriate for me under DOJ rules. I can tell you that we are going to do our part, and we have up one part in protecting our elections from the threats that we have jurisdiction to investigate.
I just stepped through a number of situations where it certainly appears that there is a coordinated effort to go after the president's main political rival. All of it is coming together right at this point in time.
That's not appropriate for the director of the FBI to comment on.
So we have leading candidate, Trump in this case, who is being targeted by the deep state, by the Biden administration, and by the government agencies that work to protect the Democrats, that work to protect the Biden family. It's not only a family, a political family, it's a crime family. So those are the facts. That's what we're going through right now, and we're not even touching what happened to the submarines and naval ships that are nuclear that went to they're in Cuba right now. We're going to cover that in the next episode, but just wanted to highlight that right now as tensions are rising. And I remember a family member told me a few years back, I want to say 3 years ago, where he said, I'd rather have Biden as president because I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel safe knowing that Trump will be president, because he might take us to a nuclear war. And that's ironic, actually, because during the 4 years of Trump, we were at peace. There was never any signs of any international conflicts that would raise to this level of a possible nuclear war. And right now, under Biden, we are very close. I remember in the 80s, we were going through the Cold War, and I was in middle school, high school, and we were fearful. The threat of a nuclear war was real, but not as real as what we're experiencing today. So for the new generations, for the new people who have never experienced that, this is what we felt like in the 80s. It was a nuclear war could erupt at any time and any place. So that's why we're putting this information out. So you guys, the listeners, you're listening in your car, on your way home, or from work, or on your way to work, thank you. We are trying to provide all the information necessary for you guys to make your own decisions when it comes to elections, but also to be prepared. We're under a Marxist, communist, socialist occupation, and this occupation, the agenda is to destroy the United States, to destroy our communities, to destroy our middle class, and that's what we're seeing. When we told you that the teachers' union is part of this agenda, and they want to destroy education, and they want to indoctrinate our kids into hating America, into hating their family structure, into embracing depraved sexual orientations that are only here to produce division and destruction of our society. Yes, we're providing that information. So we ask you to share this information far and wide. We need this information to reach every household in the county and beyond. And again, we thank you for your viewership. All right, let's continue. So now we're going to talk about the deep state going after Americans posting in social media. So where do we see this? Have you ever imagined that we would ever reach this point where normal Americans are visited by government officials because they posted something on their social media. This is insane. This is insanity. This is out of the CCP playbook, out of the Marxist, Communist, Fascist playbook, out of Germany, Nazi Germany, Soviet Union, Communist, North Korea, China. So the Biden administration is effectively going after dissident voices in the country. If you say something against government, if you say something patriotic, if you say something that you have a lot of followers and are voicing your opinions, hey, you may get a visit from the FBI, from DHS. So DHS, FBI, and DOJ are spying on Americans. And it's sad to say, but Mr. Snowden was right. He told the world that this was happening. And they went after him. And there's still a verdict out on whether he's a hero, he's a criminal, but at least he pointed us to what was happening, which was the government spying on us. So the deep state is in full view right now. You're seeing the spectrum of the deep state. They are basically the ones deciding what these government agencies should do. They should quash any dissident voices. If there's any patriotic anything, any voices that go against their narrative or against their belief or against their administration or against the policies of the government, then they are seen as a threat. So this is, again, a textbook move out of the Marxist, Communist, and Fascist playbook. You've seen it in Germany during the Nazi regime. You saw it in the Soviet Union under the Communist Bolshevik regime. You see it in the North Korean regime, in Venezuela, and under the Maduro regime, and the Castro regime in Cuba. So this is happening. This is in our footsteps, and this should shock every listener, to every viewer of this channel, and every American in these United States, because this is happening, and it's really sad, and this should wake you up like this, because it is happening, and we got to fight back. I've been saying it. If you have stayed on the sidelines up to this point, you can't afford to anymore. You got to step out. You got to join your HOA. Start planning, having a community watch, so your neighborhood can be safe. Crime continues to go up in the county. It continues to go up all over the country, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So you need a plan. You need a plan. Your home plan, if things happen, communications, food, water, because we're at the precipice. A war can start, can be kinetic at any time. So we are telling you here from MoCo Resistance, we're not fear-mongering. We're not giving you our guesses or our estimates. We're telling you what's happening and what is likely to happen based on the facts that we see on the ground. And this should point out that things are bad and things are going to get worse. So censoring and harassment will continue. Will continue because the Biden administration and the Democrats know that they have lost. They have lost their political base. They have opened the border so they can replace that political base. And they are fearful because they are going to lose power. And when they lose power, the Trump administration is going to review and go after them. And this is not what Democrats and the mainstream media have said, retribution. It's not. It's justice. It's justice. So justice is going to be served at every level, federal, state, and county. So all the people who in the county who have forced, for example, masks, who have forced vaccinations, who have forced businesses to close, unfairly close due to a fake pandemic, they will face justice as well. So the Trump administration and Space Force, for example, They have a record of every conversation, every cell phone, every email. So if you've burned your phone, if you're a Democrat operative in the county, for example, if you've used I guess burnout phones or whatever, those conversations, those text messages have been recorded. So there's no escape this. So I've been saying in my Twitter account to several county officials, including Mark Rich, hey, I would suggest you would do the right thing and resign, and leave your post so you can at least prepare your family matters, etc., in order to face the legal consequences of your actions. So that's what's going on. Okay, so we'll turn into Twitter now to talk about the government agencies going after Americans for posting on social media. So this is a tweet from Mark. It says FBI agents question woman over anti-Israel Facebook posts in viral video. Okay, now we have a tweet from Redneck Papa. This is why we're seeing videos of FBI showing up at people's homes, literally advertising to come after American citizens for their social media posts, like there isn't enough real crime out there to keep them busy. Welcome to Biden's America. So this is a post by the FBI that says hate crimes not only harm victims but also strike fear into their communities. The FBI is committed to combating hate crimes and seeking justice for victims. If you're a victim or witness to a hate crime, dial 1-800 blah blah blah. Protecting our communities together. Report hate crimes. So, does this sound familiar to you? What's happening in Montgomery County? The hate task force, the anti-hate task force, supported and promulgated by the county council. Yeah, that's what's happening, and they're going to come after residents who supposedly are posting hate crime text or posts. So this is part of the police state. Your First Amendment rights are gone out the window. Right, let's continue. Okay, so this is a post from Lori Mills that says, in 2020, I was banned by all social media platforms for posting the New York Post story on Hunter Biden's real laptop. They even took my non-political business pages. Mike Johnson calling the FBI out of for censoring Americans for political gain. All right, let's see what he has to say.
What you've documented carefully in the Twitter files are a couple of key facts. People will hear a lot of things today, but this is what they need to know. The federal government, from Democrat members of Congress to intelligence agencies, including the FBI, used Twitter and other social media companies to censor Americans' speech. If the alarm bells are not going off, then you're not paying attention. Over the past 3 years, documents show, they prove what you guys have uncovered here, is there's communication between Twitter and the FBI. It was constant, it was pervasive. Twitter was basically an FBI subsidiary before Elon Musk took it over. The Twitter files revealed that by 2020, Twitter was engaged in open information sharing with the intelligence community, and now we know there were many intelligence agencies apparently involved in this. The FBI pressured Twitter to act on election-related tweets leading up to the 2022 election. Of course, they did it in 2020 as well, and Twitter dutifully censored content as a result. Twitter executives restricted accounts, they censored speech that conflicted with the left's narrative. Twitter has used its internal tools to control and manipulate speech considered misinformation, and who was determining that? It was the government bureaucrats. Documents show that Twitter used visibility filtering to restrict certain accounts and posts and removed people from the platform altogether. The Twitter files should be a matter of bipartisan concern for every member of Congress and every American citizen, because it is a bedrock principle of our constitutional system that the government does not get to decide what speech is acceptable or true. Under the First Amendment, Americans have a right to speak freely, regardless of whether their speech upsets the preferred narrative. In fact, that's when it needs the most vigorous protection. Everybody on the left used to believe in that, or at least they purported to. Government and media fact checkers frequently get things wrong. The American people can't and shouldn't rely on so-called experts to be the arbiters of truth, disinformation boards, and the like. It doesn't matter what political party you're in. Government should not suppress important debates and public discourse.
All right, let's continue. We have End Wokeness exclusive. Yesterday, the FBI showed up at the home of a Trump supporter in California. The agents said they needed to discuss a person he met online. And it continues. When the agents saw that he was filming the entire interaction, they immediately stopped talking and left to speak to the neighbors. So I'll let you see the video.
This is David from the Sacramento FBI.
What? What is it?
Looking to talk to David.
For what?
Hoping he can help us with someone he met online. So.
All right. Yeah, I'm still gonna record. Yeah. What is it? What is it concerning?
I'll tell you if you turn it off.
I'm not gonna turn it off. So.
Okay, the person we're here to talk about, I can't say it on the camera.
Okay,
but it's not about you.
Okay, well then I can't. I'm not gonna speak. You're not gonna say it on camera.
What have you been up to?
None of your business.
Okay. You're refusing the interview?
No, thanks.
And we have another example on a tweet from Brina Morello. FBI agents are confronting Americans about their social media posts. So what should you do if the FBI comes knocking on your door? I asked FBI whistleblower Kyle Serapin and here's what he had to say.
You don't have to answer any questions. We all want to solve this problem. Some other human being has come there and they're looking for something. So we're very accustomed to say, hey, let me just straighten this out. It must be a misunderstanding. They're not coming there in good faith if they're banging on your door and you've committed no crime. And even if you have committed a crime, it's not going to value, your experience by trying to explain it to them. Let a lawyer do that. So create time and distance. It's the same thing you would do if you were being attacked physically. You need to create time and distance. And that is, if you have a warrant, they're going to knock down the door. They're going to come in. You make a decision right there. If they claim to have a warrant, they probably do. So you let them in. But if not, hey, I'd like to contact my attorney. I will go and get an attorney specifically for this instance and go get one. And let me know, who you want me to funnel questions to. You can leave a business card under the door. But I'm not taking any questions from federal law enforcement right now. Regardless of what their complaint, oh, we're just trying to straighten this out. Oh, you're not in trouble. I don't believe you. There's no reason to believe you.
All right, and here's another tweet. It says, what the F? Apologize for the murder language. Who does Biden think he is, having FBI question Americans about their posts on Facebook? Biden has turned into Hitler. It's bleeping disgusting. So here's a lady who was confronted by FBI agents because of a Facebook post. So you mean to tell me that we have rampant crime, we have terrorists, we have CCP soldiers, we have UN soldiers, terrorists from the Middle East, mercenaries in the United States, and sleeping cells that are ready to explode all over the country, and you have the FBI harassing Americans because they put a post on Facebook. That is unacceptable. That is crazy. That is completely bonkers. If you're watching this channel for the first time, this should this is the kind of information we put out. We put out what you're not going to see in CNN, Fox News. You're not going to see this in NBC, ABC, CBS, any local radio, any local. You're not going to see in any county news outlets, either radio or otherwise. This is crazy. So I'll let you see and hear and watch the video.
Can we just move in front of the house so the dogs don't go crazy?
Sure we can, yeah.
need you to identify yourself and let me take imagery of your IDs.
I'm not going to share my credentials on the phone.
So you said you were with the FBI?
That's correct.
And why won't you show me your credentials?
We did. I showed you my
I didn't take a look at them. I said, 1 second, I'll be right back. Are you going to show me your credentials or no?
Yeah, we did already. So, and we identified ourselves. So what we'd like to do
I
is
didn't
just
look
have
at
a
your credentials. Again, I didn't verify them. I told you to wait, and I went inside.
Okay, that's correct. What we'd like to do is just have a conversation with you about some social media posts that you've made. Would you be willing to talk to us today about that?
No, I would not. I would like you to later talk on with my lawyer.
Okay.
Do you have identification
Do you have a card or something
cards?
from your attorney that we could reach out to
No,
you?
no. I'll get back to you.
All right.
Do you mind just having your attorney contact the FBI office in Oklahoma City?
What's the number? What are the names of the agents?
I'll Google it for you.
So you're refusing to identify yourselves.
No, we've already identified them.
Again, I did not take a look.
Okay, so the phone number for the FBI in Oklahoma City is 405-290-7770.
Okay.
If you just call and give them the name, then we'll be able to get your contact with us and we'll be happy to speak.
And tell him that Facebook flagged me for posts.
Facebook gave us a couple screenshots of your accounts.
Okay. So we no longer live in a free country and we can't say what we want.
No, we totally do. That's why we're not here to arrest you or anything like that. We just
Well, you
want to
can't
discuss
arrest me for freedom of speech. We live in America.
Correct.
Exactly. So it's kind of weird that you want to come talk to me about me exercising my freedom of speech.
We do this every day, all day long, talk to people.
Okay.
Really, it's just an effort to keep everybody safe, make sure that nobody has any ill will or bad intent or anything like that. And we've got no reason to believe necessarily that that's you, and that's why we just wanted to have a conversation.
So do you have a conversation with everybody on the neighborhood?
Do you have information with anybody else in the neighborhood?
I mean, all I've done is exercise my right as an American citizen on a public social media platform with my personal opinions. Correct? Okay. Most of the individuals, right, in America, especially older generation, right, have Facebook. Are you questioning all the citizens in America?
We certainly would if we had any sort of concerns.
Okay, so you have concerns about my personal opinions?
If you don't want to talk to us, then you can leave.
I'm definitely not going to have a talk with you.
Well, thank you for your time this morning, and feel free to reach out to us.
Okay, they're so-called FBI. This is Rola Abdeljawad in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is America.
All right, let's continue. And this is definitely something concerning, and it shows the complete corruption, the complete, takeover of the globalist of our government. Because here's Lucas Cage. You're going to be hearing more about him. He's a decorated former military guy who posts things on Twitter, and the Department of Homeland Security pays him a visit over tweets. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I'm going to post the video in the link below under the video, but I'll let you see some of it. This is like 54 minutes long, so I would encourage you to watch it and leave your comments on the post itself, and also on if you want to make any comments in the conversations under the video. We'd like to engage with you guys. So, but this is crazy. This is another example of what's going on in the country right now. If you didn't know this, well, wake up and smell the coffee. We've told you since 2022 at least that the Democrat Party was engaged in a complete takeover of the country, no matter what the consequences. So you have a police state right now, harassing Americans, harassing freedom of voice, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, everything. So this should wake you up. And please share this information far and wide. We need to get this information out so people are aware, and so they know what to do when things like this happen.
I'm gonna take care of this. Go away. Hello, I'm recording for my safety here, officers. How you doing? Yes, is there an issue that I have?
Yeah, we just need to talk again, Luke.
It's same person. How you doing? Recording again. How you doing? Okay.
So, we got some more reports about some of the stuff you posted online.
Okay.
Can
you
I know.
Fix this? No, can you fix that? Okay, go ahead.
I know when we've talked in the past, obviously you have the right to freedom of speech.
Yes.
But when we get reports, we have to come out and talk.
Right.
We just got to make sure we're not crossing any lines or thresholds or anything like that.
Correct.
My partner here wants to talk to you about.
This time is a little different. You haven't crossed any thresholds.
Right, and last time I didn't either, so I don't understand why our taxpayer dollars are coming.
I'm going to explain it.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, my name's Colleen.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I work for the Office of Homeland Security in New Jersey.
All right, so now we're going to next level. Next level.
We're not. We're not because what I do in the state is I watch reporting.
Yeah.
When I see something that I'm like, really, I try and go out and have a conversation.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree. You may find this surprising. I actually agree that some of the things that have been happening to you have escalated the situation.
Yes.
So, my job that I created this morning, my job is to come out, talk to you, right? Get some answers from you. But then please also know that I am organizing a conversation with the leadership over in Lakewood because what's happening from that side is not okay as well.
Right.
Right?
So the Jewish community in Lakewood is again sending you guys here to question
Negative.
So who's in Lakewood? It's the Jewish community, no?
Right, but isn't that part of the community that is coming at you?
Yeah,
I also watch social media, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching what's happening to you.
Yes.
So for example, there was a report.
So this is basically the police state. We're currently living under a police state being controlled by the Democrat political establishment, who have turned every government agency against the American people, because they are drunk on power. They are drunk on solidifying their status as the leading party in the country, and they're not going to let go. And that's why we're seeing this. They have sold themselves out to the CCP, to the globalists who want to destroy the country and who want to make China the next superpower. And they want war. So the only thing standing in their way of complete world dominance is the United States. So that's why you're seeing America being attacked from all sides, and that's why you're seeing inflation, the wildfires, the climate change hoax, the indoctrination of our education of our kids, the infiltration of pedophiles into government, into education, and you're seeing this all over the place. All right, next point we'll touch, and lastly we'll touch on Juneteenth. Well, this happened because the Democrats, again, it was a move to stir up race tensions and eventually social conflict. So what do the Democrats want to do ever since 1865, when they lost the Civil War, was to create division based on race, racial tensions, based on made up fake conflicts between people, and this is why they did this. That's why they made this legal, made this a national holiday, and this is along other divisive yearly celebrations like Pride Month. So this is it also resembles the feminist movement the My Body, My Choice movement. It resembles the Me Too movement. So every social movement that the Democrats have pushed is not to benefit or to push because they care about a certain group of people. Is because they want hate, they want division, they want people to be in to have that tribe mentality to face off with each other because they have different opinions about certain things. So. And the goal again is to divide the public and pass the lie that Democrats are for minorities, in this case the black community. But again, the propaganda is backfiring tremendously. The black community is leaving the Democrat Party and joining the GOP. We've seen this in previous episodes, and you just go to Twitter, just go to X, and you'll see the people, brown people, black people, and other minorities are jumping off the Democrat Party bandwagon and joining the GOP because they're seeing the lies. They're seeing the truth about the Democrat Party. They're lied. There are Marxist, communist, socialist, and racist who created the KKK. They created the Jim Crow laws and have pushed the division of people in the country ever since 1861 through 1865 and through the years. They were behind the civil rights movement, and we'll have a special episode to touch on the specifics on the civil rights movement. They used the black community to pretend they were on their side, and all those murders and the civil rights, they were caused by and pushed by the KKK, who were Democrat. So they were controlling both sides of the narrative in order to create a environment where they were seen as the good guys. So, but people are realizing the truth, and that's why we call this time the Great Awakening, is because people not only in the United States but also in the world are seeing evil as evil. They're not being fooled, and they're realizing who the good people are and who the evil people are. And evil's coming out big time. They are showing their colors, they're showing their teeth, and people are noticing this. So again, the black community is waking up to the reality and discrediting the lies from Democrats, and this is a beautiful thing to see. Okay, let's turn into the Twitter feed to talk about Juneteenth. Here's one of the posts that I made yesterday, where it says, today is June 19th, 2024, and it's Juneteenth. Slaves were freed as a result of the Union winning the Civil War against the Confederate, who fought the war to keep slavery. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, and he freed the slaves, and Democrats wanted to keep it. Let's never forget that. So, freedom from Democrat slave owners, Juneteenth, the day slaves were freed by Republicans from Democrat slave owners after a long civil war. Right? Let's not forget, Democrats like to skew history and change history. That's why you see back in 2020, the Summer of Love, where Antifa and BLM were destroying monuments and destroying historical figures everywhere in the country, and this is done on purpose because they don't want the history to the real history to be shown to the public, because they want to change it. They know they've committed wrongs and they've committed crimes, and that they don't want people to know about that. So that's why they want to change history. All right, let's continue. We have Happy Juneteenth. It's a video. Let's hear what they have to say.
Which political party founded the KKK?
The Republican Party, of course.
Wrong.
Wrong?
Democrat Party.
Are you serious? For real?
You know which party abolished slavery?
Which party? Yeah, that was the Democrat Party.
It was actually the Republicans. Republicans were the anti-slavery party established in 1860 with Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which political party gave African Americans the right to vote?
You can go with the Democrat.
Republican.
Yeah, well, all right.
So, people, the general public has been lied to, and the Democrats and their mainstream media proxies, and in academia as well, have infiltrated all aspects of our society, and they have changed the narrative. But people are realizing now more than ever the true history of what happened to the slaves, and who freed them, and who brought them over, etc. Don't let anybody tell you that the Democrats are for minorities, for the black community, for Hispanic community, for Asians, for Middle Easterns, for anybody. They're lying, and that's why they want to erase history. You've seen this also in the Bronx rally that Trump had. This was an unprecedented historic event where people of color mostly came together to support Trump in his campaign. So what you're seeing today is the last effort of the Democrats from 1865. They lost the Civil War, and they think they have the right tools to finish the job now. But they don't. They have lost. They have lost the narrative. They have lost the popular support, and they are freaking out. Democrats all over the place are pushing their propaganda that is not working. They're pushing the divisiveness that is not working, and they're pushing the false narratives that people are calling them out on. And this is a good place to be. But again, this is a war. This is a war to save not only our communities here in Montgomery County, but to save the state and to save the country. We are the last hope for the world, and we are here for that because we know that this is important. So we ask you please to share these videos far and wide. We need to get this information out everywhere. And get active. Get active in your school. Join the PTA. Know what your kids are reading in school. Know what your kids are doing. Get involved in your churches and your religious groups. Get involved in your HOA. Find out. Go to a GOP meeting. Go to the GOP has a new chairman now, and we'll hopefully have him in the next episode. But yeah, we need to get active. We need to get active so we can lawfully and peacefully kick these people out. Democrats from all the offices in the county, starting from the Board of Education, and then in November vote for the Senate people, for Congress, and for the Board of Education. We need fresh people. And in 2 years from now, we'll have a chance to elect council members. So, that's why we're working. We're working towards that goal to peacefully remove these people out of office, so we can start fixing the many problems that we have in the county. We have a lot of crime. We have a lot of issues. We have a lot of violence everywhere. Drug use. The economy is not doing well, so a lot of people are having a hard time making ends meet every month, and Democrats are not here to help. They're here to destroy the country. They're here to destroy our communities, and they are here to destroy the middle class. And if you don't see that, I think you need to do your own research. But this is what's going on. Thank you for your attention. This has been episode 30th, Police State. We'd like to please ask you to subscribe to our channels, Telegram, YouTube, and Rumble. We highly suggest Rumble because YouTube's still censoring certain kinds of information. And follow us in Twitter and Facebook. Join us. Join the resistance.
Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.